Welcome dear students. Now let us talk about the types of the structural isomerism. And the first type that we are going to discuss, that is the chain isomerism. Chain isomerism may also be called as the skeletal isomerism. This one is the second name of the chain isomerism, that sometimes it is also called as the skeletal isomerism. Now the chain isomers they have same molecular formula, but they have different length of main, or you can say parent carbon atom chain. Chain isomers have same molecular formula, but they have different length of the main parent carbon atom chain. You know that in every organic compound there is a main chain of the carbon atoms. The longest connected chain of the carbon atoms, that is called as the main chain or parent chain of the carbon atoms. Chain isomers, in other words, you can say that they differ in degree of branching. Means that different isomers have different number of branches which are attached to the main chain of the carbon atoms. Almost keep this point in your mind that all organic compounds, almost every class of the organic compounds that shows chain isomerism. And alkanes show chain isomerism only. The homologous series of the alkanes that does not show any other type of the structural isomerism, but they only show the chain isomerism. As they do not have any functional group, and carbon, single bond carbon is not considered as a functional group, so they cannot show functional group isomerism. Due to absence of functional group, they cannot show position isomerism. Similarly, due to absence of the functional group, metamerism is not possible and tautomerism is not possible. So they only show the chain isomerism. And keep in mind that number of chain isomers is directly proportional to number of carbon atoms in organic compound. So greater the number of carbon atoms, greater will be the possibility of the branching and greater will be the number of chain isomers. First three members of the series of the alkane, that is C1, C2 and C3, mean methane, ethane and propane, because there are no chances of the branching in their structure, so they do not show the chain isomerism. In alkanes, the chain isomerism starts from butane. Butane has two chain isomers, you know. One is the N-butane. In the second one, there is one branch at the second carbon atom, and this is called as the isobutane. It is its common name, or its iodide name will be 2 methyl propane. So these are two chain isomers of the butane. Similarly, pentane has three chain isomers. One is the N-pentane, N for normal, and you know this N normal shows that all carbon atoms are in the straight chain and no carbon atom is out of the chain. Similarly, if one methyl group is attached to second carbon atom of the chain, then that is called as the isopentane, or its IUPAC name will be 2-methyl butane. And the last one, 2-methyl groups attached to second carbon of the propane. Its common name is neopentane and IUPAC name is 2,2-dimethyl propane. These are three chain isomers of the pentane. Similarly, in case of hexane, there will be 5 chain isomers. In case of heptane, there will be 9. In case of octane, there will be 18. In case of nonane, there will be 35. And in case of decane, there will be 75 isomers. And when the number of carbon atoms that reaches to 20, then there are thousands of the chain isomers of that alkane. But a very important point here, that both these isomers and these three isomers, dear students, because their structure is different, and you know, as the number of branches increase, the surface area of the compound decreases, due to which the van der Waals forces, they become weak and the melting and boiling point, they decrease. So the melting and boiling point of normal butane will be high, that of isobutane due to branching it will be low. In same case, normal pentane will be having highest melting and boiling point, then isopentane will be having low, and neopentane will be having lowest melting and boiling point because of the greater number of the branches. As the number of branches increase, then the surface area of the organic compound that decreases, and the van der Waals forces, they become weak, due to which the melting and boiling point they decrease. So as the branching increases, melting and boiling point decreases. It means that the chain isomers, they will be having different melting and boiling point, which means melting and boiling point, you know, that is a physical property. So we can say that the chain isomers, they have different physical properties because of the difference in their structure. But if you will burn normal butane or isobutane, mean combustion, burning is combustion. So on combustion, N-butane and isobutane both will produce CO2 and water along with the heat. And in the similarly, N-pentane, isopentane and neopentane on burning, they also produce CO2 and H2O along with the heat. Burning or combustion is an exothermic process. So on burning, both will give same product, and on combustion or burning, these three isomers will give same product, which means that their chemical properties will remain same. So physical properties of the chain isomers, they are different, but their chemical properties, they are same. There are not only alkanes that show the chain isomerism, there are other classes of the organic compounds which also show chain isomerism. I am going to give you some examples later on. But one thing very important, that chain isomerism is very important, because you know, there is a process which is called as chain isomerization. Dear students, chain isomerization is the process in which the normal isomers are changed into the branched isomers. Normal isomers that will be converted into branched isomers, and branched isomers will be converted into more branched isomers. So that process is called as the chain isomerization. And because chain isomerization is used to make gasoline, or you can say in common language petrol, of better quality. And the gasoline of better quality mean with a high octane number. I have already delivered a lecture on octane number, the link will be given in the description. And you know that the gasoline is of better quality, or it is having high octane number when branch chain isomers they have greater percentage in that sample of the gasoline. So we convert the straight chain isomers into branch chain isomers so that the percentage of the branch chain isomers that may improve in the sample of the gasoline and its octane number will be increased. Gasoline or petrol will be of good quality, and obviously when that gasoline will be used in the vehicles, then no knocking or sound will be produced in the engine. Now let me give you some other examples from some other classes of the organic compounds. Just like from alkyl halides, this is 1-chlorobutane, or you can say that is a straight chain isomer of the chlorobutane, and the second one in which one carbon is out of the chain, that is called as the 1-chloro-2-methyl propane. Chloro is attached to first carbon, then that is second carbon, it is third carbon, so it is 1-chloro-2-methyl propane. Now that one is an alkyl halide. You can see that functional group in both these molecules, that is same. The position of functional group is also same, that is attached to the carbon one, but the length of the parent chain is different. Its parent chain is having 4 carbon atoms, but the parent chain in this isomer that is having 3 carbon atoms. So these are two chain isomers of each other, and this is an example from the alkyl halide. Similarly, if you will replace this Cl with OH, then that will be chain isomers belonging to the class of the alcohols. That will be 1-butanol, and it will be 2-methyl-propanol. So in that 2-methyl-1-propanol. So in that case, these two chain isomers they belong to the class of the, you can say, alcohols. In the same way, if you will attach formyl group here, then these two are the chain isomers that belong to the class of the aldehydes. That will be pentanol, and this will be 2-methyl-butanol. So 3-methyl-butanol, carbon 1, 2 and 3, that will be 3-methyl-butanol. So these two are the chain isomers that belong to the class of the aldehydes. And if an O is placed here, now you know that this becomes the carboxylic acid, and now these two chain isomers they belong to the class of the carboxylic acids. So in the same way, you can say that almost every class of the organic compound that shows chain isomerism, there is only one condition, that branching should be possible there. In that compound, there should be chances of the branching, that some of the carbon atoms may adjust themselves outside the main parent chain. Then that compound will be showing the chain isomerism. This was all about the chain isomerism.